Motha Knows.
And we be knowing.
And we're back.
Back in full effect.
Full effect. We had some things happen, technical difficulties behind the scenes, but we are here and we're back.
Because now, see, this is perfect. Therapy.
Right.
Walk me through this because what's the deal?
Inhale.
How do I push? How do I push through? How do I persevere?
No, but we were talking a little bit about, you know, what it takes to find a great therapist. First and foremost, you see this stance right here? Y'all know Ariel done find a great therapist when she on that couch and
leaning,
she like
comfortable,
just
girl.
Ready to talk.
Let me give it to you.
Give the tea.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think it's really important as we continue these discussions about having therapy and going to therapy and spreading that message, because I do think it's important to find someone that you can really relate to and talk to. What does it look like when you're searching for the right therapist?
I mean, okay, so, you know, we had a good cackle moment, like talking about our experiences and like therapy and who we tried first, who worked, whatever. I mean, like when I first walk in the office or first see you on that screen or first whatever, when I scroll through the options, like, you know, in the apps that they have now where you can pick a therapist from your phone, y'all, like, it's important that you look put together.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not asking for like hair blown in the wind.
No, like you don't have to be
beat face.
Yeah.
But a good, you know, simple, controlled appearance.
All of the things.
Hair put together, like a cardigan and a button down. Like, just give me something.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm with you. I think appearance is really important because one of the things that we know when you're struggling with things in life, one of the first things to go is your appearance. So when you're going to therapy and you're coming to the table being vulnerable and sharing your life's experiences, you want to have someone that has an air of confidence about themselves, that you feel like, okay, if I give them, you know, if I trust them with this information,
with my
life, that they can give me some sound advice back, that they have experienced,
applied, right? Like they have applied to their own life.
They have created and cultivated coping mechanisms that are healthy, and life ain't gonna just beat them down.
Okay,
you know,
because if it's beating you down,
right? Like, how can you help me?
How can you help
me?
Right?
You know, help me.
Help me. Like, but if you can't help you,
right? How you help me?
Right? Facts.
Yeah, but we were laughing because my first experience, y'all, when I tell you I'm new to Charlotte, right after law school, I get the job in Charlotte. None of my family is there. Don't have many friends there. I had a little small network from my law school that was, you know, in Charlotte. So here and there we would hook up, but just really kind of cultivating a new life without my ride or die.
Yeah. That's right.
With my boyfriend 2 hours away in another city, you know, and, you know, no real family around. So I'm like, you know, I think it's time for me to seek out a therapist.
And you come off the heels of like, daddy.
Right before or right after my dad had passed.
Right.
Studying for the bar.
Right. All of that.
And then going to a new city and jumping into a new career as an associate. Associate life was hard at first. So it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I get the guts,
happy, jumping off the cliff,
right?
About to do some therapy.
Because people don't talk enough about the ramp up to getting to the point of, you know what, I feel okay enough and like comfortable enough to seek out a therapist. That takes a while.
I can actually face all of this stuff that's in my mind.
Yeah,
openly talk about it.
Yep,
say it out loud. And seek advice.
Yeah, that takes a little courage too, to like be open and vulnerable enough to seek someone out like that. So the ramp up, right? I get to the ramp up and I'm there. I'm there. Y'all. It's like double dutch. Y'all. About to jump in. Y'all.
You walk to the door.
Through that door. And I don't want to sound like bougie or judgmental or ridiculous, but first and foremost, the aesthetic of the office itself must make sense.
Okay.
It must speak to you.
Right.
Right? You walk in and the decor has to make sense.
So what was the decor? Like, do you remember? What was?
Like, I could just tell she probably, in no no shade, because you can find some good finds in these places, but I could tell like she one day like
hit the Dollar Generals.
She got an office space and she hit the Dollar General, maybe Big Lots.
No, not for that. No, Big Lots. If you know how to do it right, stuff. If you know how to do it right,
you just have to do it right. And she didn't do it right.
She do it right. She grabbed the first couple of knickknacks she could find to throw on that table. Did she have a table?
She did have a table, but I could tell it was a hand-me-down table because it had like a lot of
nicks and the scrapes. It was a yard sale table.
Yeah. And like I said, no shade, nothing wrong with that. But you have to know how to put that kind of stuff together.
You do.
You know what I mean?
Like, you can't just grab the first thing you see. Like, you got to put some thought into these pieces if you're going to, like, go that route.
Yeah.
Like, let me have a theme. Let me have a color palette.
Something to go together. Yeah. And not just, like, throw it all in
there. Just throw it all in there. Ooh.
But not just that, y'all. I sat across from her, right? And my eye could not focus on anything but she had this wig, right? And it looked like it had some years on it. But the thing that got me,
took it out the box and just shook it.
Maybe it was no. You know what? No, because it wouldn't shake. It was crunchy. It was like solid. It was like she had shaped it into a ponytail, but it was like
it was in a ponytail.
Whenever she would move, it was like. But the ponytail,
there's no way.
This was the first day though, but the ponytail like was disheveled. Like it won't. But
where was the ponytail? In the back, in the front, on the top? Where was the ponytail?
It was like high. I could almost see like her. It wasn't edges because at that point edges weren't as like popping and popping.
So it was just the wig.
It was just the wig.
She had it like high on her head.
It was like pushed back a little too much, where you could see where her hair started.
And the ponytail just sitting.
And the ponytail was just. It wasn't like a high. It wasn't a high. It was like a low ponytail.
Oh,
and like whenever she would move her
the hair
would just move
and stay. It wouldn't like give a little. You know, it wouldn't give this. It wouldn't give.
And also, this sounds really petty, but it like all of this in my head, I just couldn't focus on anything but like that. But also too, her button was.
Not the misplaced button, child.
Uncourt, like it wasn't in
that would have been strong.
Spot. So
the wig would have been like, all right, you got.
So I'm looking at her
you
like
say something real good.
I'm looking at her like it literally gave me relax, relate, release, like a different world. Debbie Allen therapist, Whitley in there helping her talk through her own family stuff when she was there for therapy
and inviting her to Thanksgiving dinner.
Right, that's what it gave. That's literally what it gave.
Oh my goodness.
So. In my mind, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to be petty. I'm going to give it another go. Right. Like, I'm going to give her another chance. Maybe we all have bad days, you know, because I wasn't really getting anything. It was the first initial meeting was like an intake and it wasn't like we didn't get into anything. But like, I'm going to give it another chance. I go again, same deal. Like, I just
like she didn't come a little stronger at all. Same wig. Not a different wig at least?
I think it might have been a different wig.
Still crunchy?
But it was like
my car drive almost came out. Still crunchy? Mm-hmm. God says see.
And like again, it's not really about the pettiness of it, but it's like it showed me like a lack of concern for like
case in point. When you go to the doctor, you want to see somebody that looks like they got a healthy lifestyle.
And that, yeah.
When you go to a teacher, you want to see somebody that know a little something. Mm-hmm. Like, can you teach me? Yeah. You know, like, do you know the information?
But like, it's like cute, like Miss Honey on Matilda. You know, like just kind of together a little bit. You know, like give me some. What I got in those 2 sessions was like,
and you did good to push through to the second.
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
you gave homegirl another chance.
I did because I really was very serious about. I really want to go to therapy, and I'm giving her a chance. And I don't want to be petty, and I feel like life was really taking her through something. And I was like, this is just not going to be a fit like, because girl, I'm going through stuff.
We might need to find a therapist together. Like.
Yeah. So that was my first experience, y'all. And needless to say, after that experience, it took me a while to get back into therapy. that experience kind of discouraged my therapy walk for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Sorry, I gotta fix this mic.
Until I found a new therapist? Probably another 2 years. 2 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's okay. That's why it's so important, though. And I know like therapists get trained on showing up in a certain way so that your client is confident and feels comfortable and feels safe. Like, it took you another 1 to 2 years to even jump off the cliff again.
Yeah.
So that's like, if a lot of times that's a person's first time taking that leap, being brave enough to say, you know what, all right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And now you done push homegirl back another 1 to 2 years to figure it out on her own. Like,
I really gotten back into because it took me a while to find her.
And then the research of it all.
The research. Right.
Like,
so then it was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to try to like weather through life. Figure it out.
Give me a second. I'm going to go back to my own coping mechanisms.
And I think it took another big shift in life. Like I got pregnant or something where I was like, I want to make sure that like mind, body, and spirit, I'm ready for this, you know? So then I started looking again.
So that was another 2, 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a while.
It was a while. Child.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience, I haven't had that experience. Like, how did you find your therapist? Let me ask that. Did you just like phone book it?
Well, technically, I Googled, then I went through like her reviews and references, like not references, but the reviews and everything.
And when you like saw her, her pictures looked okay?
Her picture was fine.
She was going through it, child.
Yeah, she had a headshot. And it wasn't even just her appearance. Like during the therapy session, she wasn't giving me much. Like it was like
she was going through it.
Pull it out of me. Oh. And like I said, the first one was an intake one, so cool. But the second one was like more of a like, now that we know what you're here for.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
But that's a good learning for practitioners though. Like if you are in a space where you know you're not your healthiest,
yeah.
And I know it's hard to say that because that's how they earn their living. That's how but maybe do it in tandem and try to
something.
Well,
I think it might just be psychiatrists. I thought psychologists and psychiatrists have to have their own.
Maybe at first. I don't think it has to continue.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, that one just didn't work out for me, but what about you?
So my experiences, I'll start with the first one. It started off strong. Like she wasn't a black lady; it was an older white lady, but she gave me like that kind of grandmotherly, like wisdom. Persona, wisdom, just how she spoke. And I'm talking about homegirl knew her research down. Like, she could pull out a model. She could pull out, and that's how I think. Like that's my training. So I was like, oh, she know the model, she know the literature, she know this, she know that. She can point me to it. I was like, all right, like, you know your stuff. So it started off strong, like we were probably like a year and a half in, I'm seeing her individually. And then I like started to notice, like probably in that year, it started to look like her health was declining.
Okay.
Now I will say, like when I first met her, my only kind of was like, I felt like her teeth, like there was a teeth situation, like
hygiene,
not hygiene, but like maybe dentures, or like sometimes it felt like something is slipping a little bit. Like, do we need the glue?
It wasn't solid.
But I mean, I looked past it because she knew her stuff.
Yeah.
But then like a year in, like I noticed like it seemed like her health started to decline.
Okay.
And I tried to give her a chance, child, but like the spaces between thoughts and stuff started to become longer. She did start to look maybe a little bit more disheveled. Okay. Like not a lot, but for her.
Yeah.
And I gave it a couple months, and in my head I was like, she looked like it's something health-wise going on with her. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a little bit, but if it continue, I'm just gonna make the decision for both of us. Doc, go handle your business. Yeah. Like take care of you. I'll find somebody else. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like don't be trying to hang on and you hanging on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just made the decision. Was like, I'm just going.
Okay.
But my second therapist, who I'm like actively like with now, homegirl's on it. Like she's it. Yeah. Like she gives me the cultural piece, the gender piece. She's relatable, like in her life experiences. Like she can speak to a lot of what I've gone through. So I really just be having like a good sit down, cackle, learning, venting session with her. Like I get all of the pieces with her.
I love that.
I told her, and me and my husband told her, we were like, you like coming to the cookouts, like right, like when we had the big shindigs, you coming, right? She's like, I like her a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I mean that calls up a good point though, because like we tend to think of therapy as like you're going through something acute and you need something to help you get through that moment. But for me, I think of therapy as like a lifelong gift to myself. I think Kerry Washington was the person who said that. It's a gift to myself. Like, this is not just a I'm going here because I need something in the moment. This is a lifelong, ongoing journey, because life changes and ebbs and flows. And even in that thought process, on your path, you might have needed your first therapist for whatever reason, and then she got you to where you were, and then now you have a new therapist who's going to get you to your next level. And that might, that might shift and change. That might shift and change. So I love that for you. I too now have a great therapist, like incredible, very relatable, like you said. Culturally, we just connect. She's a Black woman, and for me, it was very important. The first person I talked about was a Black woman, and we just didn't connect. And that can be said. Like, you're not going to always connect with everyone, even if you are, if you're looking for someone who coincides or connects with you on a cultural level, y'all still might not connect. And that was true for me. So it took me some tries before I found my person. But I feel like with her, it's a growth session, but also like I'm just talking to my homegirl, right? Like that's how it feels, right? Like I feel like I grow in every session, but it's just there's an ease about it. It doesn't feel like
if a word slip out, like a cultural word slip out or something.
She gets it. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's work. We always do exercises and things that, I was thinking about our last session, and I want to start out with this exercise because I think it'll help us.
That's good.
Like I just really love her. She's very thoughtful and mindful about where I am, and like you said, the exercises, the models, that connects for me.
Yep.
So yeah,
the privilege of it all.
Right.
I'm proud. I mean, I think that's dope though. Like we have the privilege to not be ashamed about going to therapy.
There's no stigma.
To openly discuss it, to share our experiences, and we have the privilege that women and men are now like seeing the importance of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So go us.
Right. I love our generation.
Yeah,
like, we're really trying to push in. We're trying to push the envelope a little bit and like just push everybody.
Y'all just call it what it is. Millennials are,
like, not that conversation.
We came from the old to the new, like the bridge, for real.
No, but it's dope.
Yeah.
And I love seeing like, the baby boomer generation, because the conversation has opened up so much. They're actually now going back and trying therapy.
Yep. Okay, baby boomers, go y'all.
Get it. So what's your thoughts? Like, how did you find your therapist if you go to therapy?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts around therapy?
Share your experiences.
Share your experiences. If therapy is a no for you, share why, because that's important too. I think the conversation doesn't always have to be we don't always have to agree on what's beneficial for us. Like,
it could be something else. It could be other outlets that people don't know about, right? So yeah, that's a good conversation to have.
Yeah. But like, comment, share, subscribe, and thank y'all. Bye.
Bye.